Back for one last part of this. Alright, so did all the missions, at least the ones I'm gonna do. And no real changes to make on this. Considering going with fleets for a minute, but doesn't seem worthwhile. Funny, because they seem more overpowered than ever in this one. And I still don't really want to use them. Like, a while ago, I used to friggin' love those things, would always end up going to them. I still think... I don't know, I still think the mares are kind of better. Just in general balance. Like, for anything other than a super heavy build. Anyway. That's neither here nor there. There's only a few things left. He tried to do what I was doing last run. A bit too flimsy for that guy. Yeah, so funny, yesterday, or last night was going through, like looking at random stuff on the Discord. Got introduced to, the guy that apparently has been doing AC1 runs for flipping ages, but no. Somehow apparently he had a randomizer set up. I honestly have to wonder about trying that. Not to actually post, because frankly he did it, that's his thing, but I mean, like, in general, that sounds like fun. Honestly, if I end up posting anything, it's just gonna be some dumb challenge or something amusing. Frankly, most of the time that I actually have for these games is gonna come, like, pretty much in the middle of the night when the baby can't sleep, and have my Vita there. Oh man, this is going much easier than usual. Usually I have to run this guy out of ammo. I mean, for as much as lightweights were considered broken in 3 NSL, I'm actually kind of starting to think, that the heavyweights are friggin' broken. I mean, look at this. Corner camping, everyone. Yeah, that wasn't ideal. I just wanted to see if I could pull it out at the last second there. Got a little bit lucky with a couple misses, though. So I think what I'm gonna do is use the little walkway on the other end. I think that would be the best way to go here. Turn around, maybe have him waste some of his stuff. Goes. I'm basically just gonna have him. Hopefully he'll. I don't think he's actually gonna turn on his extensions if I don't lock onto him. Actually, yeah. No. So he should get stopped by this ledge and have a hard time blading. In a perfect world, anyway. Yeah, no. Not quite enough. Alright, well, new plan. Grenade launcher and running away, then. Because his gun is not remotely threatening right now. Come on now. But, get some hustle going. Round. Not working like I'd like it to. And I should be using my EOs here, but that sort of did what I was hoping it would, which was get him overheated. It's not quite doing enough. Okay, that worked. Worked pretty well. Up the gun, don't shoot it. Appeared again. So this seems to be the new plan then. So as long as I leave a little opening to dodge backwards when he does his blade, that should be fine. And I gotta wait for him to show up again. Yes. Alright, that's gonna be enough. Okay. I was hoping there would be more fights like that, actually. It would just be more about trickiness than anything else. And, you know what? When I think about the timing for today, I don't know if... like 50-ish minutes left? Should hopefully be enough. Now for the unofficial PSP DLC guy. Get that reindeer head. Oh, got him first. Good enough. Yeah, he's pretty dang flimsy. Really, these last two runs are the only ones I can think of where I've had much of an issue with him. Getting close is the only real worry. Like, weapon-wise, he doesn't use his EO too much. Yeah, that rifle is not exactly gonna be enough to kill anything, usually. Counting for hits, you're gonna have maybe like, what is it, 80 shots in it, so maybe 60 of them hit, and it's not really gonna be enough. Extra arena. Extra arena could be a little bit tricky. We'll see. Dang corner already. Travels, I do know. I'm hoping to actually do this in one part, because after taking a look at what happened last time, like, for some reason putting the thing through the Windows Movie Maker always gives it this weird border. And messing with the border settings didn't seem to fix that, so I don't know what that's all about. Right. Great plan. I think about it. You know what? His build would be fun for a run. I mean, it's kind of close to my ideal setup, actually. There was, the main one I ended up using once the remake came around was that, except with the Mac legs and the eye head. Instead of the side missiles, because those are kind of trash, I had the pod missiles, and then the I always call them the ghetto missile extensions, but the cheap ones that are brown. And then on the arm, what did I have on the arm? I know once a SL rolled around, I slapped a shield on there, but I think I had the same blade, actually. Or no, I had the spread howitzer for a while. It was great. Barrage everything. Guys move around sometimes, so might as well go here. First things first, I'm gonna wait for missile barrages to go. No, one second that, if he doesn't want to fire them, screw it. Okay. I'm actually trying to fire to adjust a little bit here. I think that's the one. Maybe the only quad. Whatever, fire randomly and blow everything up. Fine, it's all concrete. Also, that shot just went right through you. What the hell is that about? Yeah, that's what I was worried about the missiles, but he doesn't seem to want to spam them. Sometimes, though, he can be a downright assassin with those things. I want to say they toned him down in the remake. Because I distinctly remember having, like, childhood fears of that guy. I'm gonna go, you know, like, have my 5th fight in the arena or whatever, and like, well, congratulations on your instant death. Missiles friggin' hurt. Kneel and back up. I love that maneuver. Just cannot overstate that. Alright, I'm just gonna leave because that's turning into a complete clusterfuck right there. Yeah, some of these shots I'm just kind of seeing movement out of the corner of my eye and kind of hoping to catch them as they're rounding a corner. So some of them are random, some of them are definitely not. Just kind of a weird habit from the rocket run still. Like ever since doing that the first time, I'm like, well, I have to do these weird corner shots and hope for the best. Especially fun with a grenade launcher because its hitbox is disgusting. Oh, you hit somewhere in that same state. They've gotten hit. It's just so good. I don't know why it sucked so bad at the very start of the run. There just must be some obscene defenses on friggin' Birdie Guy or Little Bear. No, Little Bear's in the second one. What the hell's his name? I do. I don't remember his AC. That guy. I don't know. Maybe it's because he swapped out the legs. Just plinking right off him. It's fun to be a turret. What with your running back and forth, that's just annoying. Right. Well, that's embarrassing. Oh well. I guess he figured out my really lame corner strategy. There you go, that should sort him out. Did. There we go. Done deal. Yellow boated up again. I remember hearing that there was some sort of developer interview for this game, that it was all in Japanese or something. That guy hit me so hard it messed up my sound. But, yeah, I always wondered what the hell the story was behind Yellow Boat. The whole joke conversation came up yesterday over... who's the best lady character in these games. I always wondered what their story is. And why the hell are they walking around non-OPI with overweight AC? That for some reason has some, weird water fetish. I don't know. They're not even in here, am I? Alright. You're just gonna stand there, huh? Dang it. So devious. They're gonna just go ahead and drop themselves in my line of fire so I can't shoot. A little too late, but it was a good idea. It was worth a try. Valkyrie was the only other one that attempted that? Was it? Was her? No, that was, Who was that? Was that Milky Way last run? I don't know, one of them. No, wait, I think it was Valkyrie last time. Doesn't matter. One of them did. One of the, light whites, as they call them. The only two lightweight white ACs. Aside from Endymion, but annoying build. Double tanks. Thinking Trafalgar in the parking lot. You know what? Someone needs to make Armored Core Clue. Like, have the entire arena. Pick one of their... Or, you know what? Just have a pilot. Pick an AC instead of the weapons, and then just pick an arena map for the murder rooms. Play it. Before, it's gonna be a little hard to tell who the hell I'm shooting at. It is practically every time with these two. Alright, Red. Just keep shrugging off these gigantic explosions, I guess. Freaking beefy bastard. Why is your defense so amazing? There we go. It's actually kind of weird, because as far as enemies that kind of have obscene defenses that I always think of, 3 always come to mind from completely separate games, because in this one, it's always friggin' Bison Chomp over here. Like, he has pretty much the same, actually possibly lower defense than Spartan. Actually, no, Spartan has the light tank legs, so yeah, no. Bison should have almost max defenses. The ones that always come up are that guy, friggin' Silver Fox from Silent Line. Frankly, a lot of it's because he has a shield. And then, even though he's not actually tanky, what's his face? Caspian from Last Raven. Not so much in the Nexus version. I don't recall him being an issue, but okay, it's mostly an ECM thing in Last Raven. But so friggin' douchey are. It seems like every time he takes more punishment than he should, and then you go back with, you know, quad missiles, and suddenly the whole thing becomes a joke. Oh, I can't lose or whatever, and then you just show up and rip their friggin' arms off. That's great. Oh, I love the quad nuke so much. Like when my favorite use of those things was this one time in LR. So Caspian had basically gone and just jumped in the air, landed, and I had gone a pretty good ways above him to actually fire those things. So the small missiles from the extensions end up breaking his legs. And so he just drops and suddenly slows down. And both of the two large missiles end up going from the side. Long story short, he ends up losing both of his arms. Like, yep. I don't even feel bad, he kind of deserved that one. So hopefully... Yeah, I've yet to be able to recreate that even in the arena there, so I think I just got super lucky with, like, plinking him down with other stuff. I want to say it was like a quad with a chain gun or something, but, I don't know, it's been a minute. Either way, so satisfying. Then the runner-up to that is the one that I actually posted with Damon. Damon. Let me move. Thank you. Yeah, so... And in that one, I ended up blowing off his head, blowing off his legs, or blowing off his arm, blowing off his legs. I think it was like damaging his legs. Alright, survived just enough. Okay, I was gonna see if it continues counting down during the win screen. I don't know if you're at like 2 or 3 AP when that happens, you still end up blowing up. I guess it just stops. But no, so, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so yeah, it ends up blowing off one of his gun arms and then pretty much damages the rest. I think it blows his head off, halfway breaks his legs, and then, like, while he's in that whole, like, burnout and explosion phase, ends up flying straight into a pillar and blowing up. It was great. Like, I know it was a timing thing and not actually how it works, but it just looked like he flew into the thing and exploded. Great. Right. Kneel and maybe stay kneel. How about that? Oh my god, probably. Oh hey, Clazen. Showed up to help finally, huh? Now, personally, I wish they would have done the arena here like they did the Versus, like the main menu Versus arena. So, the way they did that one was, you basically could select to have just teams, so there was no leader. You could have your teams just consist of, you know, 2 people, and then whoever's still surviving wins the match. Now, I personally would have preferred if they didn't include Kaiser in the arena, or in the selectable options, and just gave you stuck your partner there instead. I think Valkyrie isn't bad because her damage is not great. Especially against the AI, she doesn't actually help much. And that's the only other one that you get that's, like, I guess you could say in the higher rank of things. Okay, they are rocking in. You overheating at least. Yeah, I would have preferred if they didn't allow you to pick Kaiser as a partner. Maybe gave you, like, Shadow Age or somebody instead. Would be kind of cool to have them in there. You know, these are pretty handy for last-second dodges if you made. But yeah, that way they could have had a fight to the death kind of thing, in which maybe your far worse counterparts can go and win the fight for you. And getting a little bit dominated here. Get out the back boosters. Or improvement. Saw that one coming from a mile away, but didn't exactly risk getting hit by the other one either. What's that? I hate when you cough and have some weird hiccup at the same time. Okay, so... Right. New plan. Grenade from afar. And don't take as many shots early on. He says, well, God knows. So that one's gonna be the target. Pretty much, I can tank energy stuff pretty well, so... maybe I can do DPS or... oh, that's okay. Where's this buster spot? Alright, whatever, that did it. Good enough. Far from clean, but I don't care. I know I always prefer when matches get a little bit dirty. I never did end up showing this corner abuse. Kinda curious if it'll work in the double arena. And generally all you do is, well, you try to hide around here. I may have picked the worst possible people to try this out on. But you go right to the line, but you make sure that you don't really have any means of going backward. Forward. I'm just taking out my own guy. Yeah, a lot of times they'll end up going out of the arena over there. But as long as they don't have any severely heavy-hitting weapons, mostly that's just going to be rockets and grenade launchers. You're pretty good in that corner. Unless you're using a grenade yourself, in which case, brace against the wall. Maybe a bit of extra space. In the parking lot again. Oh wait, I forgot your guys' leader is the wimpy guy that's just gonna bomb rush me. If they had these the other way around, this fight would be so much different. They actually really should have had the other... I know the lightweight's the expert, so to speak, but it would have been cool to have them the other way around, because the tank is so much harder to beat. Especially in the doubles thing. So if you were trying to take out the tank, you would have a really hard time. Lightweight one is the one harassing you. Technically make more sense, but... oh well. Faust. Alright, Fixer, I guess I'll take you out or something. So, I think this is supposed to be, like, these are the two gatekeepers, as it were. But I don't know, I don't recall ever having a problem with Faust. I think his bouncing up and down is a little bit harder to hit sometimes. Not really much of a threat. Okay, Battle of the Douches. I'm gonna say Kaiser and parking lot. Funny thing though, if you have this be a fair fight, where you can't really force close encounters, Cypress will actually beat Kaiser pretty consistently. By pretty consistently, I mean like 95% of the time, he will outright eat him. Bit weird. Here, I'll show you. Do the same fight in factory. And I like the idea of the factory. You get the two opposite ends, like you end up having to fight the backup and then you fight the main guy. So since I don't want this fight to combine in this particular scenario, do this. Oh, I'm just gonna go ahead and fight. Ah. Oh, what a shame. So now we're just gonna spectate. So he got that first round of missiles on. He'll do that sometimes. I'm gonna back off without feeling he's starting to lock on over there. And let's just give it a second, because after the missiles, usually you just see him get completely ripped apart. He'll just run circles around Kaiser. I'm starting to run here. Of course, now that I say that, was going to be the one time that he ends up beating him, huh? No, there he goes. He's already in overheat. So at this point, until he uses the other missiles, he's going to have one volley that he saves for towards the end of the fight. But he'll only be able to hit him with the edge of the shotgun. And the odds are pretty low that he's going to end up flipping him with the howitzer at all. Because usually he ends up firing forward and at an arc, so it's just going to end up going and bouncing and it'll spread out and all that. And end up hitting the wall while that guy will be in the air. Right, so like I said, most of the time, Cypress will win against Kaiser. Round one. Not win against this stuff. There we go. So it was a close fight, but still, considering the rank difference, you know, he cheats pretty hard. And that's the closest I've seen it in quite a while. I've tried to see if there's any consistency possibilities there. Well, get the giant guy to break him, and most of the time he ends up with 4 to 6k. Kaiser ends up getting trashed. Switching shoulder gun. Tasty, tasty coffee. Body twins. Attic and parking lot. Hopefully only aggro one of them. Considering how often I take these guys on in the arena, I really should just never do that. Grenade launcher upbeat. I'm surprisingly okay with the... There we go. You do your corner dance. That's very threatening. And I meant to try the quick turn boosters and actually did off camera. I mean, they work the turn. You can do some stuff with them, but I don't really feel like it's worth it compared to the value of the... Hammer tanks. King, again in the parking lot. You guys like to fly. They're not really the hammer tanks, they're more like the flying tank. Spend all the time stuck to the frickin' ceiling. Mess with my FCS. How about you don't? That's I think I just hit King there twice. A weird thought popped into my head just now, like what would happen if Atlas ended up making these games? End up having to manage your relationships with all your arena opponents. And why the hell that just popped in my head? Oh yeah, because I was thinking it'd be interesting if there was like an arena politics thing, depending on how hard you beat somebody. To kind of disallow like super weapons and whatnot. If you go and take your quad nukes and just annihilate somebody, they get all pissed off. Alright. He's only there to get you. Anyway. Friggin' nail. Right. Yeah. That works out. Or it would have anyway. I probably should use the grenade launcher there. Yeah, I think getting Valkyrie caught in the corner so that he only has one approach angle is the way to go. Not get rocked by the missiles or anyone. For that matter, not get smashed a billion times. Alright. I'm gonna need you guys to be off a second if you can do that. So this right here is why. Whole shuffle back and forth thing. And that's why I usually end up just going and using the factory corner. This isn't possible in a straight fight. Like anything with some decent boosting and at least a semi like wide lockbox weapon. Dodge the whole time, but their ammo like that. The guy knows maybe trash, but he's got some decent hitting power. Slash that thing. Alright. I really wish I knew what was going on with the standing back up thing. It seems especially bad today. Standing up instead of firing. Maybe not. Oh yeah. I think it's time to do the factory. That was about as ideal as that setup was gonna go. Probably Scylla. And I'll just use Gydos for the last fight. Wow, he didn't. Okay. I'm just out of range of her, but if Kaiser ends up rounding the corner, it appears to be doing. Good. Is it enough though? Almost, but I have a perfect corner now. Yeah, if I can just avoid fighting her entirely, that works. Here, go to the corner. Theoretically, I could also hit her here, but... Oh. You know what, he's actually... Or she's actually taking taken quite a hefty chunk off him. And appears to have wasted some of those missiles too, so good. Okay, that could not have worked out better. Yeah, that's it. You're done. A good little cheese there. Now we'll finish these two in the parking lot. That really sounds like it implies something. Baby. Go away, please. There we go. You're gone. I don't even know why I'm still taking damage. There we go. That is the run completed. Left in here. Oh, wait, Huntress. Got one of the easiest fights in the game. Under most circumstances. Now, the pods can't exactly hit me here, can they? I get one. Make a problem. Much difficult, many challenge. Alright. Alright, that's it. Not all the way to 62 this time. So you just get more for every mission completion and every part. Most of them don't end up getting that far. Like, the last one was only 50, a lot of them are only 46, and 52 for the Fairy Blade, 50 for the rockets. This random one got only the 44. Optionless, I don't think I actually finished that one. There's only 50... 51... Did already at 56. Didn't make it. That one gets... Oh yeah, only made it to 48 on the original overweight run. Speaking of... Or did actually show this guy, did I? Either way, doesn't matter. So that's about it. Do you have any ideas for a different challenge run, or just some bizarre idea that you wanted to try a run with? know.